The invisible script runs deeper than you know. You've felt its pull in the same old struggles, the repeating patterns that no amount of sheer willpower could break. It whispers in your ears, telling you who you are, what you're capable of, and what will always be just out of reach. This isn't just about bad luck or poor choices. It's about a deeply embedded blueprint, a subconscious narrative that dictates the very architecture of your existence. This script isn't written in words you can consciously read, but in the neural pathways and energetic frequencies that co-create your present. Every failed attempt, every unfulfilled desire, it's not a sign of your weakness. It's evidence of this looping directive, a program running quietly in the background, shaping your reality without your explicit permission. You're living out a predetermined sequence, and the strange part is, you've always sensed it. You've glimpsed it in moments of déjà vu, in the uncanny feeling that you've been here before, said this before, or experienced this exact disappointment before. These aren't random glitches. They're echoes, phantom limbs of a reality that your operating system insists on rendering with perfect precision. It's time to understand the true nature of this invisible force. This script is the ghost in the machine, and its next act is to blind you to the fact that perception collapses possibility, effectively limiting your world before you even choose it. Perception doesn't just interpret reality. It actively sculpts it, collapsing the infinite potential into the narrow confines of what you expect to see. Imagine a quantum field buzzing with every conceivable outcome and version of your life. Your perception acts like a filter, a high-powered lens that focuses on a single probability, causing all others to literally fizzle out of existence for you. This isn't philosophical. It's the observer effect in action, playing out on the grand stage of your personal universe. And before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. These revelations aren't random, and if this video found you, it was meant to. Now let's begin. Every belief you hold, every assumption about yourself and the world is a setting on this perceptual filter. If you believe you're unlucky in love, your filter zeroes in on evidence of rejection and disappointment, making those the dominant frequencies in your observable reality. The possibilities of effortless connection and profound affection simply vanish from your field of view, not because they don't exist, but because your filter doesn't recognize them. This collapsing isn't benign, it's absolute. The choices you think you're making are often just the most obvious paths within an already pre-collapsed landscape. You're not choosing from infinite possibilities, but from the very few that your current perception allows to remain visible. The world isn't happening to you, it's condensing through you. This leads us directly to the concept of the false self as a quantum filter, which actively works to maintain these collapsed realities. The false self is not some abstract psychological construct. It is a very real, energetic architecture designed to maintain a specific, limited version of who you are. Think of it as a deeply ingrained identity, forged from past experiences, societal expectations, and unmet needs that acts as a powerful quantum filter. This filter aggressively sifts through the infinite potential of the universe, only allowing through perceptions that confirm its preconceived notions of your limitations and capabilities. It's the voice that tells you, "This is just how I am," or "Things never work out for me." That voice isn't just a thought, it's a program actively collapsing probabilities of abundance, joy, or success because those outcomes don't align with its self-imposed narrative. It's a guardian of your comfort zone, even if that comfort zone is deeply uncomfortable. The subtle energy of the false self prefers the known suffering to the unknown freedom. This filter operates at a precognitive level, meaning it shapes your reality before you even consciously perceive it. You don't choose what to filter. The filter has already chosen for you based on its programming. You only become aware of the results, the collapsed reality presented to you as definitive truth. This is why, despite sincere desires for change, you often find character over desire, with old outcomes repeating seemingly against your will. It's a brutal truth. Your character, as defined by your subconscious patterns and ingrained beliefs, has more gravitational pull on your reality than your conscious desires. You can desperately want to be wealthy, healthy, or in love, but if the underlying character structure, the invisible script of who you are, is wired for scarcity, sickness, or loneliness, that character will always win. Your desires are like whispered prayers. Your character is the immutable law. This isn't about being good or bad. It's about energetic alignment. If your character is built on a foundation of self-doubt and unworthiness, then even when opportunities for success appear, your character will subtly, or not so subtly, sabotage them. It will create excuses, find flaws, or simply fail to act, ensuring that the outcome aligns with its established identity. This is why you see people repeat the same financial mistakes, the same relationship patterns, or the same health issues, despite their fervent wishes for something different. The universe isn't responding to your fleeting wishes, it's mirroring the stabilized identity you project. Your unspoken assumptions, your emotional reflexes, and your deeply held beliefs about who you are, these are the commands. Desires are just suggestions. Until the character shifts, the outcomes will relentlessly loop, a demonstration of identity inertia and timeline looping. Identity inertia is the cosmic weight of your stabilized self, an unseen force that resists any deviation from its established trajectory. It's why change feels so incredibly difficult, not because you're weak, but because your very identity has a momentum that wants to keep you exactly where you are. This isn't a flaw. It's a design feature of the observer effect, creating a stable, predictable reality for your specific consciousness. This inertia manifests as timeline looping. You experience the same struggles, the same interpersonal dynamics, the same financial ceilings, not as random occurrences, but as consistent repetitions within your personal timeline. It's like a record player stuck in a groove, endlessly playing the same few bars of music. Each loop reinforces the identity that created it, making the escape feel increasingly impossible. Your past isn't just history. It's a gravitational field pulling your present and future into a familiar orbit. These loops are not punishments, they are reflections, precise mirrors of the identity parameters currently in play. Every time you say, "Here we go again," you're not just acknowledging a repeated event, you're recognizing the signature of your own identity inertia. This inertia is often fueled by subconscious programs, powerfully expressed through emotional reflexes as script codes. Emotional reflexes are not merely feelings. They are potent script codes, powerful commands that dictate the unfolding of your reality. When you react with anger, fear, or resentment to a particular situation, you're not just experiencing an emotion. You're actively reinforcing a pre-programmed script. This script then cues corresponding responses from your environment, drawing in people and circumstances that validate that initial emotional trigger. Think of it as a feedback loop. An external event triggers an old emotional reflex, say, a feeling of inadequacy. This inadequacy then sends out a specific energetic frequency, acting like a magnet. The universe, in its perfect impartiality, reflects this frequency back to you, manifesting situations that confirm your feeling of inadequacy. You don't just feel it, you live it. These aren't choices you're consciously making. They're automatic, deeply embedded responses that bypass rational thought. They've become shortcuts, fast tracks to reinforcing the familiar identity. The stronger the emotional reflex, the more powerfully it writes the next scene in your personal drama. This continuous feedback loop begins to explain the paradox of effort, why trying harder fails. The paradox of effort is a cruel cosmic joke played on those who strive, yet remain trapped. You, in your conscious desire for change, often believe that more effort, more force, more pushing against your current reality will break the cycle. But precisely the opposite occurs. The harder you try to escape a situation while still operating from the old identity, the more deeply you embed yourself within its patterns. Trying harder from a place of desperation or lack paradoxically, reinforces the very lack you're trying to overcome. Your efforts become an energetic declaration that the current reality is indeed dominant and difficult, pouring more fuel into the fire of the old script. It's like trying to get out of quicksand by struggling frantically. The more you resist, the deeper you sink. This isn't about laziness, it's about misalignment. Your Herculean efforts are often attempts by the conscious mind to override a deeply entrenched subconscious program. And the subconscious, being the more powerful operating system, will always win in the long run. These misguided efforts are prime examples of how microscripts and the mechanics of predictability keep you tethered. Microscripts are the unseen, automatic behaviors and thought patterns that make up the vast majority of your daily existence, operating beneath conscious awareness. Each time you procrastinate, choose comfort over challenge, or default to a familiar self-criticism, you're running a microscript. These minute actions, seemingly insignificant on their own, collectively form the mechanics of your predictability. Your entire reality is an aggregate of these tiny, repeated, unconscious scripts. They dictate your choices in relationships, your financial habits, your health routines, and even your default emotional states. Just as a single line of code contributes to a larger program, each microscript contributes to the overall looping reality you experience. They stabilize your identity and solidify your current timeline. The predictability they create isn't a coincidence, it's the efficient output of a finely tuned system. Your subconscious doesn't care about your stated desires. It cares about consistency and known outcomes. It executes these microscripts flawlessly, day in and day out, ensuring that your reality remains a faithful reflection of their underlying programming. But there are ways of breaking the pattern using reality glitches. Reality glitches are those moments of uncanny synchronicity, unexpected insights, or uncharacteristic behaviors that suddenly appear in your structured world. They are not random, they are cracks in the predictable facade of your current programming, opportunities for deviation. When you notice an unusual coincidence or feel a sudden, strong intuition that goes against your usual patterns, that is a glitch. These glitches are signals from a deeper level of reality, hints that the tight grip of your microscripts can be momentarily loosened. It's like a moment when the matrix flickers, revealing a different line of code. They appear when your consciousness momentarily shifts, even slightly, out of its usual frequency, opening a tiny window to alternate possibilities. To truly break the pattern, you must not dismiss these glitches as mere anomalies. They are invitations. To acknowledge them, to lean into their strangeness, is to begin to introduce new data into your predictable loops. These moments are not just observations. They are opportunities for symbolic acts as observer disruptors. Symbolic acts are powerful, intentional deviations from your microscripts that act as direct challenges to your established identity. They aren't about brute force. They're about subtle, precise shifts in your energetic signature. Imagine taking a small, completely out-of-character action that carries profound personal meaning for you, something that directly contradicts an old belief or habit. For example, if your microscript involves constant self-doubt about your creative abilities, a symbolic act might be creating something, anything, and sharing it, even if it feels terrifying and imperfect. The act itself isn't what changes reality. It's the conscious breaking of an old pattern, the deliberate choice to embody a new possibility, however fleetingly. It's a signal to the universe that your observer is no longer fully committed to the old script. These acts bypass the logical mind and speak directly to the quantum field, declaring a new intention for your timeline. They are powerful declarations of identity change, sparking a re-evaluation of your internal programming. But beware, because this disruption inevitably triggers when the old self tries to reboot. When you start to embody new patterns and perform symbolic acts, the old self, like a persistent operating system, will attempt to reboot. This isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that your changes are registered and threatening the established order. You'll experience sudden urges to revert to old habits, powerful self-doubt, or even external resistance from people and situations that preferred the old you. This is the inertia fighting back, attempting to pull you back into the comfortable, predictable loop. It will manifest as powerful feelings of unworthiness, fear, or a sudden resurgence of the very problems you thought you were overcoming. It's a test, a final attempt by the old script to reassert its dominance and stabilize its timeline. Do not mistake this pushback for defeat. Instead, understand it as validation. The system is detecting a significant shift. Your old self isn't trying to destroy you, it's trying to save its familiar reality. The key is to recognize this as a mechanism, not a personal failing, because the observer is watching you back. The observer is not just you. It is a fundamental aspect of consciousness itself, intricately woven into the fabric of reality. And here's the crucial twist. While you are observing your world, the observer, the fundamental I am presence within you, is also watching you. It's observing your reactions, your choices, your subconscious scripts, and your intentional acts. This isn't about judgment, it's about reflection. The observer is mirroring back the patterns and beliefs you hold about yourself and the world. If you continually affirm lack, the observer reflects lack. If you embody empowerment, even in small symbolic acts, the observer registers and begins to manifest that empowerment. Your inner state is constantly being analyzed and rendered into your outer reality. This truth implies a profound responsibility. You are not just a passenger in this holographic existence. You are an active participant, and your deepest perceptions generate your experience. This leads us to the ultimate revelation. You're not supposed to finish the script. You're not supposed to finish the script because it implies a fixed, predetermined outcome that you are powerless to change. The entire premise of this journey is that the script was never fully written. It is continuously being generated by your observer. The ending is perpetually open, evolving with every conscious choice, every symbolic act, and every shift in your underlying identity. The looping patterns, the repetitive struggles, they were never meant to be your final destination. They were merely the default rendering of an observer stuck in a loop. The moment you become aware of the script, the moment you understand the mechanisms of perception and identity, you gain the power to rewrite the fundamental code. Your purpose isn't to reach the end of a story someone else wrote. It's to become the author of your own. You are the ultimate observer, the catalyst for your own quantum leap. This realization collapses the false notion of destiny, replacing it with infinite potential. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.